So, in today's episode of Fallout 5 discussion, we're going to talk about one thing and one thing only. Yes, we're going to talk all about the building mode stroke settlement management mode that we got in Fallout 4 and how that compares to Fallout 76. Sorry guys, I know I said I was going to cover other stuff. It didn't work out that way. I got carried away and I'll talk about the building mode a lot today. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Let's do it. Okay, so let's just quickly go through the guidelines again. Because this is a series of videos, I'm sure some people might click on the second or the third video first or whatever. So this is really designed as a forum to discuss and prompt opinions on what a new Fallout may look like. In this video or this video series, we're referring that as Fallout 5. My role in this is to put forward aspects of the game. I'll give an opinion on various aspects of the game, and I will do that to prompt discussion. Feel free, if you have a different point of view from mine or you slightly disagree with me, to disagree, that's fine, but please do that respectfully and respect the other members of the community who are also making comments. Also, as I said in the first video, this is not a video that is designed to either defend or attack Bethesda in any way, so please, if that's what you want to do, then you may well have to do that somewhere else, because any derogatory comments will not show up in the feed and will be deleted straight away. And also, if that's persistent, then there may be suspensions or bans put in place, and that's something I really do not want to do, but I need to be honest with you up front about how this whole process is going to work. So to make comments, you can make them down below, or you can join the thread that we've put together in the Discord. Discord link is in my about section on my YouTube channel. It's hopefully it will be good. There'll be a lot of discussion on this, and hopefully we will get something at the end of it that shows exactly what the community want to have as the next Fallout, and I'm toying with the idea of sending that to Bethesda at some point. The building mode, it was brand new to Fallout in Fallout 4, and in fact the building mode was part of a game within a game, if you like, almost an inception moment in Fallout. Brand new game mode that was buried in the game, which was like a settlement management mini game, if you like, the best way I can describe it. So if you have played Fallout, you'll know all about this. You come out of the vault, you go down to Sanctuary Hills, and at some point very early on in the process, the settlers that are at Sanctuary Hills ask you to help them with the security and the sustainability of that particular settlement. And obviously that means that you need to help them with food, water, electricity, beds, and some levels of defense. Now, the building component was really designed to help to facilitate you to do that. It was there to be able to build whatever you needed so that you could make the settlement secure. And obviously you did that by going around the settlement and scrapping a whole lot of stuff, and then if you still didn't have enough resources, you went into the further area of the Commonwealth and you gathered resources and brought them back. Now, the problem with going out in the Commonwealth and getting resources is generally and very quickly you'll stumble across another settlement in Red Rocket, and then so on and so forth. And in fact, we end up with 29 different settlements strewn across the Commonwealth. And then, at some point as well, Preston Garvey gets in on the case and sends you off to help settlers all over the place. And before you know it, you have this kind of mini game running where, you've built a You've built a beacon, a settler beacon, which is attracting people into the settlement. So the settlements are filling up, and then they need more resources, and they need more food, and they require more water, and so on, so on, so on. And yeah, suddenly it becomes just this whole game within a game, like I said. The other thing that you can do, of course, as you open up the settlements, you can link each of the settlements to each other so that you can share resources. And yeah, you can add shops to those settlements, and yeah, it just keeps going and going and going. So that was where the building mode came in for Fallout 4. It was really just there to facilitate the building of various things that you needed to keep the settlers safe and happy and sustainable. And of course, the building aspect of Fallout 4, which we will talk about in a little while, was kind of started there, but moved in a completely different direction. And I honestly don't think that Bethesda really thought that the building component of Fallout 4 would take off the way it did. And the reason I say that is because they did give you a very minimal amount of building sets, building materials, items that you could use. Very, very minimal. And that was done for a reason, because the main game is really all about managing your settlers and managing your settlements. It wasn't really, I think, as it evolves and as we go forward with it, then the building mode it evolves into something, as I said earlier, completely different. So then we move on to 2018, 3 years later, and Fallout 76 comes out. And they announced that, yes, certainly there will be a building mode in Fallout 76. However, this building mode is quite different in its kind of how it's structured, what it's there, its purpose, and etc. So really, the building mode in 76 is designed to make single structure settlements. It's not designed to have 15, 18, 20 settlers in it. It's really more about you as the player in an online environment. And the online environment, I think, is the key here. And having a base or a camp to be able to have your stash, your weapons, all your resources, be able to do all kinds of things like repair weapons, repair armor, grow crops, and be able to cook meals so that it keeps your action points at a certain level, etc. So the building component in 76 was really what they said to you is they gave you this map that was 4 times bigger than Fallout 4, and they said, look, what we're going to allow you to do is we watched the modding community, and we love this idea of having the ability to build anywhere or build everywhere. So we're going to allow you to have a little workshop, a little portable workshop, and you can put that absolutely anywhere you like in the map on Fallout 76, and you can build a single dwelling, a single structure, anywhere you like. And not only are we going to do that, you will be able to blueprint it. So if you get tired of the area you've got your camp built in, then you can just pick it up, go to another location, drop it in, and you don't have to rebuild it. And that was about it. There was no settlement building. There was no settlement management. Nothing to do other than that. Now, in more recent times, they've actually given you a second camp to play with. But when it first launched, that was the sole purpose of it. So, what should we have in the upcoming Fallout 5 as far as building mode? First of all, should we have a building mode? What's your feelings on that? Secondly, should it be more along a settlement building mode, or should it be more along the 76 model, which is build anywhere, but it's really just a player home or a single structure? So, that's going to kind of frame the entire discussion for building mode today, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the evolution of Fallout 4's building mode and where that went, and then I'll talk about 76. So how did Bethesda do with their first iteration of a building mode in Fallout? I think they did pretty well for what it was designed to do. It was designed to be a tool to facilitate a settlement management game. It wasn't designed for what all of us and a number of us in the community have done with it since. So they done it pretty well. They put some kind of bare minimum building sets in, and off she went. Now, very quickly, the building component of Fallout 4 started to grow, and yeah, the community, as the Fallout community does, started to find some of the holes in the system, some of the flaws, and nature of the beast, they started to find glitches and ways around it. So, we had the pillar glitch, we had the rug glitch, the wire glitch. There's all kinds of ways that you could get round using the materials that you were provided with and being a little bit more creative. So the next thing that starts happening beyond that is that obviously Bethesda looked at this and saw the potential, and so we started to get these expansions coming out. We had Wasteland Workshop, we had the Vault-Tec set, Contraptions set, obviously Far Harbor, we got items from there. So the whole building set, or the whole kind of number of items that you could build with, suddenly grew fairly substantially. But that still wasn't enough for the community, and that's where I think the Fallout 4 or the Fallout modding community came into its own. That opened up a whole new world and a whole new genre of what was possible in Fallout 4 as far as building and how to play the game in general. The mods have changed Fallout 4 immensely, and I respect that there's a number of you out there that do not like using mods, and that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. And I think what Bethesda tried to do is they tried to fill that gap as much as possible with additional content in their expansions and their DLC content, and they also gave you the Creation Club, where they gave you the opportunity to purchase various items and guaranteed them, and said they will not break the game. They're guaranteed because we built them, and that wasn't the case with the free mods. The free mods, there was always the risk that it could be game breaking. So the evolution of the building mode in Fallout 4 is incredible, and we're talking 6 years ago, and people are still building and using all that whole mode. They've finished the game years ago, but they're still playing Fallout 4 just to make builds. I know I do, and my whole channel was built around the builds that I could do within Fallout 4. And with mods, it just opened up the whole landscape of what you could do. It opened up the whole map, and there was just endless or infinite possibilities to what you could do with building in Fallout. And that's why I think Fallout 4 has been a game that has replayability but longevity, and I think that's set to continue. I think people are still making mods now for it, and I think that will continue into the future. So I know this is taking a while, but I think it's important that you get the base background to what the building modes are about and the difference between the two games. I think at this point it's fair for me to disclose that I am not a fan, or I was never a fan of Creation Club, the pay-to-play element of Creation Club. However, I respect that if that's what you wanted to use and you felt it was safer to do that, and you liked it, totally respect that. But I am not a fan, and that's very important to understand as we go into the conversation about 76 and where the 76 building mode is taking us, and I'm hoping that we don't go down that path with Fallout 5. So now we come to Fallout 76, and we have this building mode, but the building mode that they've put in is a completely different building mode to Fallout 4. None of the glitches work anymore, none of the workarounds work. It's not a settlement building mode at all. It's a single dwelling mode, so your build limit is smaller now. That part of that, I think, has to do with the online nature of 76 and the stash limit at launch, and yeah, so you're very limited in what you can achieve in 76. At least I feel like that now. Please, if you're a builder in 76 and that's all you know, please don't take offense to what I'm saying. I don't hate the building mode in 76. I'm just trying to give some perspective on the differences between the two games. So I personally feel that there's the rules, the building rules, if you like, are a lot stricter in 76. Now, before I go any further, I'd like to give a big shout out to Quick Smoke, who has helped me no end well. I had a number of questions about building in 76, and he's helped to fill in a lot of the gaps. So thanks, Mikey. You're a gem. So build order is key in building in 76. Todd Howard stood there at the launch and said, yes, we will have mods in 76 at some point. Well, Todd, we are 4 years down the road where there are no mods. The only place that you can buy items or building sets, in the large majority of cases, is in the Atom shop, with either in-game currency, the items that you earn playing the game, or with your own money. Now, there are a number of building sets that, as you explore Fallout 76, you will come across blueprints, and you'll be able to use those blueprints in your building. But for the large majority of the time, then you are going to be at the mercy of the Atom shop. And I have a real problem with that, the pay-to-play element of it. Now, again, Bethesda brought out a what they're calling a Fallout First kind of club that you can join, a subscription for Fallout 76, and with that subscription you do get a private server, or you get access to a private server, which means that you can increase your build limit by 75%. There's no cost on various materials. You have a lot of flexibility at switching, snapping on and off, etc. But you have to pay for it. And if you want an additional camp, if you want more than one camp, and you can have up to 4 camps in Fallout 76, again, you have to pay extra for it. And I just hope that we don't go down this path in Fallout 5. Now, if you're a Fallout 76 builder and you're happy that you're earning enough atoms and that you get everything you need in the shop and all the building sets and the items you need, and you like that, I respect that completely. For me, I just don't like where this whole pay-to-play element is going. And so, do I think there's going to be an Atom Shop / Creation Club in Fallout 5? Absolutely I do. Do I want one? No, I don't. But I think they need to balance it out between, Bethesda developed mods and, a free modding community like we have in Fallout 4. So, I come back to the question I gave you earlier. Which of these building components, if you want building in Fallout at all, which of these ones would you choose, given all the information I've now given you, so that you can make an informed and balanced decision? Comments down below. Also, is there a scenario that you can see that would work in a new Fallout? I gotta say, the whole settlement management thing for me got a little bit tiresome. So I think if they could reduce the number of settlements that they had in the game that you had to manage, then that possibly would be a little bit better. Maybe we have one or maybe 3 or 4 main settlements, and then if you want to build your own place, you can build that with a kind of place anywhere type workshop, whereas with the actual locked in settlements, there's a red workshop that we're used to, and then you have a kind of mobile camp system like you have in 76. So it's like a hybrid and the best of both worlds. I'm not sure if you've got some suggestions on what that whole thing might look like in Fallout 5, assuming that you want a building system, then I would love to hear your ideas. I'm really on the fence to where Bethesda should take this next. I certainly don't want to see the pay to play element that we see in 76. I think there's got to be something a little bit more balanced, and I think Fallout 4 was kind of the first iteration at trying to balance it. And yeah, love to hear your comments. I know this has been a long one on one subject, but I thought it was very, very important to give you as much information so you can make a decision. And also it is something I'm extremely passionate about, and I have enjoyed in Fallout 4 for 6 or 7 years now. Is just building, and it's very relaxing, and it just allows your creativity to go absolutely crazy. Thanks for all the support on the series so far. We have got some ideas coming up. Hopefully next week we'll get to the skill tree and a whole lot of other stuff. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. See ya.